that you have to block off the roads, you have to block off the courtroom, you have to scan everybody in, and if somebody wants to go in,
by the way, they don't even let anybody bring their cell phone at the door before you walk in.
People.
They want to intimidate people.
Intimidation. Over one man in a car accident, you want to tell me they're blocking off the entire road?
That's crazy. I mean,
they're blocking off the entire road.
This is disgusting.
You know you've done something wrong when you have to block off the road. Do you know you've done something wrong?
The bottom line is the audio is coming out. The audio is coming out. This vehicle is getting reconstructed. The accident is getting reconstructed. Their worst nightmare is materializing in reality. I mean, the file is all over the internet. The evidence is coming out that for 2.5 years they've lied in the case of Mustafa Aljazari. This is a car accident.
You wanted to show me the body or the dash camera?
I wanted to go over the dash camera, what prosecutor Sarah Sammy has been hiding for 2.5 years. And why is she so terrified from a dash camera? I mean, Sarah Sammy doesn't talk about it. Amy Ashworth doesn't talk about it. Robert Drum doesn't talk about that Mustafa and Dorsey are passing back and forth.
A cigarette.
I mean, by the way, if I was just looking at the dash camera, I would think they're smoking weeds.
Okay.
Because they're passing back and forth, and it doesn't look like a cigarette. They're passing back and forth.
But we know it's not weed. We know it's not drugs because there's a toxicology report on both individuals, Mustafa and Dorothy, and both toxicology reports show 0 alcohol and no drugs. Both of them.
Absolutely.
So for anybody that wants to derail this conversation, they want to gaslight this conversation. You can, by the way, you can do that.
And that's what they're doing. There's some people online that are, but by the way, they can't do that anymore because I have the full, and that's what they did in the beginning when I first released the dash camera. This is what they were doing in the beginning. Obviously, this prosecutor has people on her payroll that she's
they've admitted they have people on payroll through social media.
Obviously. And what they're doing, they're taking this dash camera. They're like, oh, look, Mustafa and Dorsey are passing back and forth weed. Well, I have the toxicology report. You can do that in the beginning, but I have the full file. This is Mustafa. Do me a favor. Go over to
the toxicology report does not lie.
And this is the foundation of this case. Mustafa and Dorsey are passing back and forth hemp. This is the toxicology report for Mustafa Aljazari. This is Mustafa Aljazari. I'm going to zoom in. So this is the full toxicology report. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in. Alcohol level, Muhammad. Alcohol level, blood alcohol, non-detected. So Mustafa was not drinking. Okay. THC, and this is the foundation of the case. THC, 0.003. There's no drugs in Mustafa's system.
What is it?
0.003.
3 zeros and then a 3.
Yeah. So what Mustafa and Dorothy are smoking is hemp. Let's go back to the dash camera. What this prosecutor is terrified from is that she wants to tell this community that Mustafa and Dorothy were arguing inside the vehicle. But for 2.5 years, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, prosecutor Sarah Sammy, Robert Drum himself, when he's telling the independent experts.
Let me read this to you real quick.
When they're telling the medical examiner, never came up that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth hemp 6 times. 6 times. Let's go back to. Let me pull up the dash camera. There we go. So let me go to, let's see. All right, so prosecutor Sarah Sammy, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, sealed off this dash camera because she can't tell this community that Mustafa and Dorothy is arguing, and then she shows a dash camera where they're passing back and forth hemp. Not once. Let's watch this.
Okay, let's watch this.
This is the first time. So Mustafa and Dorothy passes a cigarette hemp 6 times. So here you see Mustafa and Dorothy. Mustafa is driving. By the way, the dash camera is locked in on 77. The odometer on the dash camera is broken even when Mustafa is at a 7-Eleven.
Can you Okay, yeah, keep
Zoom in.
going. No, just keep going.
Even when Mustafa pulls into a 7-Eleven and the vehicle is not moving, that 77 doesn't change.
Yeah, it's stuck.
It's stuck. The dash camera has a stuck meter. Okay. So the computer, the ACM inside Mustafa's vehicle showed that Mustafa was driving speed limit.
I mean, you can clearly see he's not passing other cars. He's not weaving in and out of traffic. And even one of the witnesses.
So he was not speeding. But
one of the witnesses says there was no erratic driving. He was driving
Robert
normal.
Drum himself says Mustafa was not speeding. Forget what everybody says. The computer inside the vehicle showed that Mustafa was driving speed limit. So the odometer, and this is what they were gaslighting NBC4 on the internet.
Because they have this little Chiron thing at the bottom.
Yep.
That's blocking the time. It's blocking key information from this dash cam, and all you can see is the 77 miles per hour.
This is what.
So for anybody that is looking, that's looking, all you see is 77. Oh my God, he's going 77 miles an hour. That's what people think.
Exactly.
And that's why, that's why the prosecutor did that. She clipped this dash cam to take it out of context so that people can say, just by his speed, he's guilty.
Wait a minute. I thought the case was sealed.
I mean, if you're going 77 miles an hour with a baby in the back, you're guilty. Okay? But clearly, that's not the speed he was driving because the car was parked at 7-Eleven and it still said 77 miles per hour. So clearly, the speed of this dash cam is off.
Exactly.
That's clear.
And the computer inside the vehicle showed that Mustafa was driving speed limit.
And then Robert Drum even questions Rexing. He says, why is the speed stuck at 77? Why is that? What does that mean? Why is it stuck? But he never questions that. Where's the audio to this dash cam? He's worried about the speed that you can get from the data recorder. He's worried about location when you can clearly see the street signs in the camera. But he never questions where's the audio. And then when Chad Mason is asked, did you notate that there was no audio anywhere in your police report? He thought it was insignificant. Well, your prosecutor is arguing there was an argument in the car. Your medical examiner is saying that Dorothy was screaming. And you don't think the audio to the dash cam is relevant? You didn't document it? Robert Drum didn't document it? Nobody documented that this dash cam doesn't have audio? Oh, except for Zymus, who says there is audio. She documented it, but Amy Ashworth sealed that. She sealed her report. So nobody's to know that this dash cam does have audio. Nobody's supposed to know that.
I think I have.
But now we're going to get to the bottom of it.
I think I have the portion where Robert Drum calls in. There we go. So he calls in the company for the dash camera, and they tell him that the odometer is stuck.
Let me give some context. So on an alleged double homicide, this crash investigator is going to call the dash cam company. Let's see what is so important on his mind when he's calling this dash cam company. Let's hear it.
What's disturbing is he never once asked for the audio.
I mean, this is a 20-year crash investigator, right? Yeah. He's looking at a dash cam, a dash cam that they allege there's no audio. That's what they allege. They allege that the video cuts off before impact. Let's see what's on his mind. A 20-year, I want to say 20-year expert in crash investigations. Let's see what he thinks is so important when he's calling the dash cam company.
But yeah, so on the camera itself, on what you see when we pull it up, it have the GPS coordinates at the bottom. Those don't change, and then the speed limit in the bottom right-hand corner stays at 77 even when he stopped and driving, and we can't figure out why. But yeah, so on the camera itself, on what you see when we pull it up, it have the GPS coordinates at the bottom. Those don't change, and then the speed limit in the bottom right-hand corner stays at 77 even when he stopped and driving, and we can't figure out why.
Wow, interesting. Okay. So, as a 20-year
By the way, this is Robert Drum.
As a 20-year expert.
Investigator Robert Drum, yeah.
20-year expert in crash investigations. He's looking at a dash cam where they're alleging there's no audio and that the video cuts off prior to impact.
By the way, why does it matter? The computer inside the vehicle that he's in possession of showed that he's not speeding.
This is the most important question.
He knows he's not speeding.
You're not asking, I don't have the audio. You're not asking, why does this thing cut off? I mean, you're not asking these two very important questions. You're not asking where's the audio?
Because he already has the answer to that question. His officer, Chad Mason, cut and muted the dash camera.
That's crazy. I mean, 20 years of experience. I don't think you can have 0 days of experience, and the first thing you're going to ask for, especially when the prosecutor is arguing in court that there's no audio, the first thing that maybe a monkey would ask Rexing is, where's the audio to this thing? Where's the audio, and why is this thing cut before impact? Shouldn't that be the first thing a monkey would ask for?
I mean, I'll tell you. So far, the details are.
You have a 20-year expert. Never questions the audio. Never question. By the way, let me tell you what Rexing told me when I contacted them.
Oh, that's right. You contacted them.
Because I also did my own investigation, and I contacted Rexing, and I said, can you tell me how this dash camera works in case there is an accident or impact? And what they told me is that the camera has a specific, sophisticated software that if it detects an impact, what it does is it would save that minute file. So the camera records in 1 minute increments. Every time you hit a minute mark, it takes that file, stores it, and it stores it in a general file, 1 minute increments. In the case of an accident, the camera automatically duplicates the file and makes a copy in a file called incident. And you also have the general file where it records the 1 minute increments. So if you open up this dash camera, you should see 2 files. One that says incidents, where the impact occurred. It saves it in a separate file. And if you open the general file, you should see all the videos. So there should be 2 copies of that video where the impact occurred. Yet in evidence.com, we only see 1 copy of it, and it's cut off at 8 seconds. One of them is cut off at 7.3 seconds.